Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Joella Newman from Transforming Your Tomorrows, and I hope you're joining us either on Facebook or on my YouTube channel, Joella Newman. And if you haven't signed up for YouTube channel, please do. I'm trying to build my YouTube audience, so I hope you can do that tonight. I am so excited because for so many reasons, we're back into our groove in doing our Entrepreneurs on the Rise show. And tonight, as always, I had Cynthia as my guest many times last year. So I'm really excited to get kicked off this year, having Cynthia Farina join me. Cynthia is first of all, she's a very dear friend. So I love having her here. But Cynthia is a life intuitive, and she's a life guide. She's a life coach, and she really helps people because of her innate skills. So she's always known her life purpose to be a lighthouse for others. And it's kind of like tonight, we have no moon. It's a new moon. It's dark. And you've got that beacon of light shining and bringing you home to where you need to be. That's Cynthia. She guides her clients through an ending that takes them toward new beginnings. And isn't that exactly like this new moon? We finished the last cycle. So she's able to use her innate intuitive skills coupled with her astrology training to reveal depths of one's personality. And sometimes, really address skills and challenges that perhaps you don't even know that exactly what your challenges are. And to use this knowledge, her skills and her expertise to help you navigate those areas of concerns. So as a lifelong intuitive, she has always felt a natural affinity to just shine her light and make sure that that light opens up for you, that you can find that pathway and really learn to navigate those concerns in your life much more easily with a partner instead of all alone. I know her clients come from far and wide to discover this very potential within themselves that she brings to light, and by receiving her guidance for answers that you seek. So tonight, what we're going to be doing with with this particular show is really looking at the right brain. All right. I promise I will do left brain this year a lot more. I've got that lined up as well. But tonight it's right brain because it is a new moon, and astrologically, Cynthia can talk about this. It's really an opportunity to set a wish, right? To let it go. But how do we apply where we are, who we are with the new moon, and use this in our construct to move our business forward? So because what I do with Transforming Your Tomorrows and coaching, and I really love to coach entrepreneurs to get them out of their own limiting blocks, Cynthia brings in a different element and flair that I am nowhere near trained to do. I know teeny tiny bits, and every time I listen to her, I learn more and more. So it's really an opportunity for you to say, okay, what do I need? What do I want? I'm gonna just, Messenger is not working for me. So really just listen to what she has to say tonight, whether you hear this as a replay on Facebook or if you go to YouTube. Either way. So I'm going to first start out. Cynthia, welcome. I'm so glad you're here as my first guest this year.
So much. I'm so excited, and I'm so blessed to be your first guest of 2021 on the new moon. No,
yes,
fabulous time to start.
Really, and this is just a total synchronicity. I mean, we did not plan this. No. We didn't even think about it. Oh, it's the new moon. It was not staged. It just was. To have an astrologer and an intuitive here talking about how that gels with business on the new moon. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
No. And it definitely is just a perfect alignment to what's going on right now. And just talk a little bit about our new moon in Capricorn that we had this morning. If you think about Capricorn's the sea goat, so it's always climbing, and it also has the ability to swim, right? So Our Capricorn New Moon is a perfect time. If you haven't already, you still can create intentions for, and it's going to be long standing. It's not like a typical new moon where it's only for a month. It will be long standing, but it's a perfect time to plant those seeds, but trust that the roots are going to take form. So with the Capricorn, it's Capricorn's all about structure and foundation. So, but they're also about trusting your intuition and trusting the fact that the things are actually going to happen. You have to have that mystical kind of with the mundane, you know, so you need to have that fluidity of the water, the sea goat, along with the goat going up the hill.
I love that, because that's my tagline, and you can even see it in my logo on the screen, is combining intellect with intuition. Right. It is that gut reaction, you know, for those who don't even believe in intuition, then okay, trust your gut, right? That phrase didn't come about because people didn't resonate with it. And to combine the intellect with the intuition, that the mundane with the mystical, I think that's how you would say it. I think that is so powerful, because it's honoring to trust ourselves as a whole being, not just what we actually see in front of us. And trust that's very hard.
You're manifesting, like trust what your intentions are. Trust that the intentions that you're clear that you're setting, those seeds are being planted, and that those roots are going to take. You're not going to see the results immediately. I mean, you know, you don't sit there and watch a seed and say, is it growing? Is it not growing? Should I pull it out of the dirt? I'm not sure what's going on. That's the same thing that's happening now at a new moon.
Right.
Especially with Capricorn.
And I think that's really, I love it, because I know Capricorns are hard workers. I have one brother who is a Capricorn, and, you know, I don't talk to him very much, but he's a hard worker. And I think that the results of that hard work takes time, right? Like you said, it doesn't manifest at the very moment you plant a seed, and it's like you don't see a tree the day you plant the seed. It takes time. You know, I know, I think 2 years ago, I gave my son an avocado seed, and he's been growing this avocado tree for now a good, I think it's 2 years. We've now planted it in a big pot. So because the next house that we will buy, right now we're renting. But it's so fascinating to watch it, where you had to put it in water to get it to germinate and take some roots, and then plant it in a little pot, and then the next one, and then the next one.
And now we're getting an easy tree to grow.
No. Oh, it's doing fabulous. So I'll take a picture of it and plant it here, and, you know, not literally, but post it here. And I think, you know, in terms of business, you know, looking at Capricorns being the goat, climbing up that mountain, still doing it, and then sitting back and trusting that you really will reach the pinnacle of the mountain, right?
Right. It's all about trusting. It's all about trusting. So with that, tonight, I wanted to talk about a little bit about how to understand your own astrology, your sun, moon, and rising sign. When people that are familiar with astrology, when they're listening to an astrologer, or when they're, you know, reading their horoscope, everybody always does their sun sign, right? It's always, you know, what's your sun sign? Oh, I'm that too. But it's the most effective one to read first is your ascendant. And your ascendant sign, when you look up your horoscope, the ascendant is where the zodiac sign was rising on the eastern horizon the moment you were born. So your ascendant sign is going to be in the first house, and that is the sign that really is your book cover. That's what people see when they see you. So the book cover is an easy way to explain it, because people think that because some people don't resonate with their sun sign.
Right.
They don't feel like they're really that much like that horoscope sign. So our ascendant is how we show ourselves to others. It's our first impression that people get of us is our ascendant. Then it's your sun sign, which determines our basic approach to life, what we're here to do. Our sun sign is here, what we are here to do, and then our ascendant is how we're going to do it.
Wow, that's interesting.
Makes sense? Yeah. So our sun sign, Yeah.
Well, for me, I'm Sagittarius rising, right?
Right.
And I never understood this until you taught it to me recently too, is that, oh, Sagittarius is much more airy. Is it an air sign?
No, Sagittarius is a fire.
Oh, it's a fire sign. Okay, that's
It's a fire
interesting.
sign.
So Sagittarius is a fire
learning,
sign.
philosophy, teaching.
Yes. Very, big vision type of thing.
Big
I guess the why I thought of airy, but yeah, okay, so fire, big vision.
You think of the arrow, right? The Sagittarian, how it's shooting up towards the sky.
Oh,
Big picture, up there, big vision.
Right. And that is so me, because I like big visions. When it gets into the detail, it's like, oh God, I got to do this. That's why I had a team that's why I was the boss, right? I had a team. Okay, this is what I need done, but here's the vision. Here's what as a Cancer's my sun sign. I'm very sensitive. I'm very nurturing, the typical nurse, the typical mom. It's like, okay, boo-boo here, boo-boo there, what needs to be fixed. And over the years, I've learned to really set my boundaries on that. It's like, I'm not here to heal everybody. I'm here to heal me, right? That's my first responsibility. But now looking at it, I remember I studied in England at the College of Psychic Studies because it was my passion. And I remember the woman said, you're meant to be a healer. And I go, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Even though I was a nurse, it's like, no, I'm not. I don't want to be a healer. And so I had bigger visions. I always wanted to be a coach. I love helping people through that process. But it makes sense that I'm kind of like both. And but now it makes sense.
Right. The nurturing sun sign of you is the one that wants to help people, nurture them, love them, be compassionate, and the healing. The Sagittarian rising in you is what causes you to want to be the coach, because it's got the bigger purpose. You see the bigger vision, how to bring those healing aspects out and do it. Now, your moon sign are our emotions. So our moons are our needs, our support, what nurtures us. Right. So it also governs our governs our moods.
Right.
So our moon sign is where we reveal our inner self. So where's your moon?
I'm a Pisces moon. I have a Pisces moon.
Pisces. So that's where you have the right brain, left brain.
Yes.
Right. So the Pisces has no form, but they're very intuitive. They're very creative. They're very, mystical. There's no beginning or end with a Pisces.
Right.
Pisces can go a little bit.
Yeah, very in flow. I can be very amenable to different things. And that's, again, where I personally have had to learn boundaries. It's like, no, I don't. I can't flow with this,
But you're more water than fire, because you have the Cancer and the Pisces. If you look at them as their elements, see, with me, I'm a Capricorn rising. So 2020 was definitely a difficult one of those years, Capricorn, because we're Capricorn risings, everything was in Capricorn. So we're moving out of that, which is very lovely right now. So as a Capricorn rising and a Leo sun, but I have a Sagittarian moon. So I'm very fire earth.
Oh, okay.
I was told once that my Leo sun and my Sagittarian moon had my Capricorn rising had my Leo sun and Sagittarian moon locked in a closet. She's like, you're more fire than earth, and you act more Capricorn than you do Leo or Sagittarius. She's like, they locked your moon and sun in a closet. They're very interesting analogies. So when you start to learn who you are, how to work it, your first impression is going to be your ascendant. So when people meet you, might say to you, oh, you don't seem like a Leo.
Right.
Or you don't seem like a Scorpio. Or you don't look like a Pisces. That kind of thing. But that's because that's not, unless it is their rising sign. It can be, your sun can be where your rising is.
Right.
But those are the three signs that you really want to get to know. And there's much more to you than just that, which we've discussed in the past. But those three signs, sun, moon, and rising, if you know what they are, and you can kind of learn more about how you tick due to them, where they're placed, what's going on. It makes a big difference. It does make a difference. It helps a lot.
Wow.
So our sun is here to tell us that your sun is here to do your purpose, right? What your purpose is. And then your rising is how you put that out in the world. Like what your purpose is your sun, right? So how we do it is our rising. And then our moon is what satisfies our soul. So they always come together.
That is so interesting because my intuitive side, I've been intuitive, at least I didn't know it until I was an adult, but it started as a young child. So I would connect that more with my Pisces moon than even my Cancer side. Although Cancers are known to be very intuitive.
So,
yeah, water. I'm much more intuitive around water, which is when it first started showing up, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Really I was a nurse on a cruise ship, and it really, I'm what they call in the clairs, for those people who don't know that term, the sixth senses, all right, clairaudience, claircognizance, clairvoyant, clairtelepathy, and for me, I'm claircognizant as a majority of the time, which I just know what's going to happen. I know what people are going to say. I remember I was in a deposition one time, and I knew exactly what the attorney was going to ask me. And so I'm answering him, and my attorney said, no, wait and listen to the whole question. Except I knew what he was going to ask. And of course, all right, go ahead and talk. I'll wait, but I'm going to still tell you the same thing. Happens to me all the time. I have to shut up, because that's why I talk so much, because I already know what you're going to say. I mean, not everybody, but that's claircognizance. So clairaudience is when you would hear something, and no, I'm not crazy. But when I was a nurse on the cruise ship, that would happen to me. And I go, what the hell is this? That I didn't, literally 100% of the time it would come true, right? And then I would have dreams and all those clairs, right? So I would have off and on throughout my life have those experiences. And I don't think I'm crazy. And some of you who are just left brain listening to this, it's like, oh, this girl's really wackadoo. But truly, I'm not. I've been run a company, and I'm
very, what is it?
Very left brain too.
Very much. But that is
the revenue. Yeah.
But that's part of your Cancer too, and your Sagittarius. It's the higher learning. It's the higher education. It's the higher purpose. It's where you're going to. It's being that nurse and overseeing a whole department.
Right.
Not just standing there and just being a boss to a couple of nurses. It's like overseeing the whole ER, things like that.
Right. Well, what's so interesting is that for those listening tonight, looking at by the way, you can go to astro.com, right? You've taught me that, to go to astro.com to do an astrology chart on yourself. And they'll ask you what time you were born and where and all those things. But for those of you who know your ascendant sign, your sun sign, and your moon sign, you can kind of look back. Like me, it's like, oh, I really am this because of Pisces in my moon and Sagittarius. It's like, now I get it. Now I get working. And so does that align with what you're doing in your career? Does that align with what you're doing as an entrepreneur? Does that match up to really what your birth signs are all about?
Right. Our zodiac, right. Our birth chart is basically the thumbprint of your soul. It's what we came here to do. Right. And it's hard for some people to look at it. And your chart never changes. Your birth chart will never change, but your understanding of it and the movement through it changes as you age. Right. So, and depending on if you do a placidus housing opposed to whole housing chart, which gets a little more technical, your signs might change houses. So your sun sign might be in your 7th house in one kind of chart, and then in another chart it might go into your 8th house, which changes the dynamic of a little bit of what you are and how you are.
Probably a little bit advanced what we would need to know, because it's
right. Yeah, the sun, moon, and rising is really, and knowing if they're earth, air, fire, or water makes a big difference. Like we were just talking, like I'm predominantly fire because Sagittarius and Leo are fire, and then Capricorn is earth. So I would look at it as earth and fire.
And so with your earth, so what is earth for you?
Capricorn.
Capricorn. So you're
Right.
grounded, earth meaning that you're very grounded into duty and work, and
Right.
you know, serving in that way. And even though you're an intuitive, there's logical steps that you take
Right.
toward
It's the planning, it's the structure. I need structure.
yes,
Very structure.
exactly.
But Capricorn rules structure, right? So for me,
Right.
it's the structure, but my fire is the initiator, the plan to go and do. I have no water. I have no air. I have water, my midheavens in water, but I have no air in my chart. So the planning, the implementing, you know, the detail oriented stuff, I'm not strong at that.
Right. Which is why, all right, and again, for people in business, and I mentioned this to Cynthia this week, is you would want to connect with someone who is detail oriented in terms of planning and an organization.
Right.
And I said, oh yes, I have someone for you. By the way, she's having a webinar tomorrow, so you got to definitely look at that. She's very cool. So what I will do is I'm going to post in here. I want to just start to close up because we're about 20 minutes in, but I want you to share, if people are listening and looking into their ascendant sign and their sun sign and their moon sign on a new moon, what would they want to take away that could support them moving forward? And like you said, this new moon isn't just.
Well, what you can do if you get your chart right now, like you can. Well, it's difficult, but you can. When there is a new moon or a full moon, you really want to see what, like we had a new moon in Capricorn. Now the moon is in Aquarius, but we had a new moon in Capricorn. So what you would do is see where Capricorn is in your chart, right? And then what that house rules is where the focus could be for your chart. It's funny. There was I think it was Rebecca Gordon. Quickly, she posted, let's see. So new moon in Capricorn, she did for an Aries. Mm-hmm. You rise into your dream job. Oh, Taurus, your message will resonate. Gemini, flip the finance script. Cancer, commitment in business or love. Leo, transform your health routine to thrive. Virgo, step into the open heart and create. Libra, time to make a move with home or family. Scorpio, speak your truth as you will sign an agreement. Sagittarius, transform your talent to vocation. Capricorn, a total rebirth. That's all Capricorns right now because Capricorn, because everything's moving off of your sign, out of your sign. Take time for you to regenerate. Aquarius, get ready to release the story once and for all, because we're all moving into Aquarius. Now we are moon in Aquarius. Okay. And Pisces, to commit to your greater vision and collaborate. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah, just for the Capricorn. But every new moon's going to be different. But the basis for this new moon in Capricorn is all about a perfect time to plant the seeds and just trust that the roots are going to take hold. Okay. I love it. I love it. Still, even though the moon's in Aquarius, you can still set your intentions for the Capricorn moon. Okay. I love that. So everybody, with that, I want you to definitely check this video out again and listen to it all the way through and what it has available for you to learn for your sign, especially with that last little tidbit, that Cynthia offered us. And then the other thing I want to do tonight is I want to share with you, and I'm going to see if I can put this in here, is a link. I am
Okay. Next, I'm really excited. Next Monday night, I'm going to do a little plug. I'm going to host a webinar on resetting your mindset with money. So resetting your money mindset, and it is fabulous. It's a course, but the webinar is just an introduction on what that is. But it really is looking at very logical things that you need to know in terms of your money mindset that keeps you from financially thriving. But it also looks at where is your belief state of mind with around money, and a couple of that. Just a little webinar, maybe about 30 minutes. And then the course, if you wanted it, would be available. And I have a journal that would go to that is custom to that particular course. So I'm going to share the link for that. And if you wanted to sign up, you could sign up on this link for the webinar. It's just for the webinar. It's absolutely free. But tonight, I know, Cynthia, I wanted to finally close up with your offer. Yes. Because it's an exciting time. It's a chaotic time. We all get that, but we also get the choice to say, how do I want to show up tomorrow? And how do I show up as my best self? I have a choice. And why not be open-minded and look to new ways to how you show up? So with that, Cynthia, I'll let you share your offer too.
Yes, I'm doing an offer where I will give a 45-minute sun, moon, and rising sign astrology reading for you based on where they are, what houses they're in, for 45 minutes. It's normally $75. I'm going to do it for $60. The special will run for the week. So those of you who have looked at it, you can email me, which Joellen will put in the chat. Underneath, you can email me at cynthiafarina@aol.com mentioning this webinar, and we can hook up and do the reading for you. So it's $60 for 45 minutes. It's usually $75. It's a special for tonight.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
And she's typing.
Yes, I know. Hang on, everybody. I'm typing. 75 available now to, what is today? Wednesday to Sunday?
Wednesday is the 13th.
Sunday, which would be let me look what Sunday is, would be the 17th. Okay, that's a cool day.
Yeah.
117 for $60. It's very cool because, again, if you learn one more piece about yourself, and even if you never use astrology, even if you've never ventured into the world of mysticism, why not play with it and just pretend, okay, I'm going to be a very big skeptical. Let me see what I have to learn. I think that is an opportunity where you can be as open-minded as possible. So that goes on Facebook as well as YouTube, and it's there for you to, and it's got her email there. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. Next week, I am going to be hosting Jacqueline Tabrizi, and she's a prosperity coach. So we're going to talk about money again. The final week of January, I'm going to have Wendy Harrington, who handles systems. Okay. And very, very fantastic. She works in the corporate world. So that's where we get into a little bit more left brain. Having said that, though, it's really, how do you bring the humanity into the words that you say in a system, in a corporation, right? Really cool stuff. Later in February, I'm going to have a gentleman, Logan Coley, to talk about a program he has, or his the company he works with has, for using LinkedIn to your behalf and your benefit. And then as I move forward, I'm going to have a woman, Danielle Alexander, who talks about feng shui. And I will continue to move more and more into finance, into looking at finance from both a spiritual perspective as well as a logical perspective. Just like Cynthia addressed earlier tonight, it's combining the mundane with the mystic. it's combining for me the intellect with your intuition so that you really are working from a very human, wholesome perspective in terms of living your life with soul, right? I mean, we're just not here to be, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. You want to have fun. You want to be enjoy that state of being, no matter what you're doing.
We're moving on to that.
We definitely are.
Working towards the whole.
Yes, moving toward that whole. Yes. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the first night back of Entrepreneur. Well, maybe second.
Thank you so much.
I had, but my first
Thank
guest.
you for having me.
Very cool.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Bigger things to come. All right. I wish the best for you all.
Happy New Year. Peace out.
Bye.